You better start today. Hoda and Jenna. Hoda and Jenna. It's the only way. Hoda and Jenna. Hoda and Jenna. They make you feel like everything's okay and put a smile up on your face. Let's celebrate. Hoda and Jenna.
Hey! Hi guys! It's Monday, the 18th day of November.
How did we get here?
We got here, girl.
How did we get towards the middle or end of November? Thanksgiving is right here.
I know. Oh, yeah. People are going to start hitting the road in about a week or so.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It just happened. And although Thanksgiving is almost here, you're already ready for Christmas.
Well, I sure am.
You decked the halls.
Yeah, you know what? Poppy said in her prayers that she wanted a winter wonderland.
Okay.
They'd already put out their Christmas trees.
Wait,
so I decked.
what?
So I decorated.
Wait.
That's my
Is
cat.
that your mantle? And that's your cat?
That's my mantle. That's my cat. There's a fireplace. We were building Legos. We were watching college football.
Oh, my gosh.
LSU, Florida.
Okay.
And my cat was eating the Legos and then barfing them out. But yeah, you know what? I felt like everybody wants some cheer.
Why not? I'm kind of with you. It's like, why are we waiting?
There's no reason to wait.
And
it
now
all
the kids,
dies.
yes. You didn't get your tree yet, though, because...
No, because that really does die, and that takes a whole team effort. This
is like you do your own thing.
Exactly.
You had the music on. You were enjoying.
We do need the team effort. Also, Poppy wants to go to a Christmas tree farm. She actually wanted to go to Taylor Swift's Christmas tree farm.
Oh, I forgot.
I'm not sure that she still owns it.
No, probably not.
Probably not. No. I also said we don't live in Philadelphia. Anyway, you have a really exciting...
I have breaking news.
You already broke it, but...
Okay, I have even more breaking news. I drove my minivan! You guys?
Wait, why didn't you don't have a picture?
I didn't take a picture. I was so into it. So I got in the Toyota Sienna, which is bam. I love it. I got in there. I pushed the buttons. Boop, boop. The doors go zzz. Then I went to the grocery store because I like to be in the Sienna driving around. And I had some groceries.
Did you actually need groceries?
No, I didn't. I wanted somewhere to go. Mm-hmm. Then I waved my foot under the back of the Sienna. Wait, and it pops up on its own. You don't. It's for moms. You're carrying stuff.
I know, but could a stranger come and wave their foot?
No, I have the key.
Oh.
So then, in addition, there's like a thing where you can see all the kids in the back. There's some weird contraption where you can program your garage opener as part of the car. Boop, boop, boop. And open the garage. And when you're in it, it feels like you are flying in a plane at 35,000 feet. It's a hum. My kids piled in. Mm-hmm. They want to sit in the way back. Go ahead, because this is a big old bus.
Quiet?
I just loved the whole thing. I couldn't believe it.
I always feel like if you could do like some sort of partition between the children and the parents.
Oh, like a button like that.
Yeah, and then it could be quiet.
Oh my God, that would be nice.
Where you are. If somebody could invent that, they would make a lot of money.
And what you look out the windshield is humongous. It's like you're flying a plane.
Could I ask you, maybe 15 years ago, do you think you could ever be talking so lovingly about a minivan?
I love my minivan so much.
Would you ever be talking about
I literally love it. I'm so in love with it.
Do you love it? You think more than I love my vacuum cleaner?
Yes, I do, actually, because I went looking for this car, and it was nowhere. You couldn't even, they didn't have it on lots.
It played hard to get.
That's right.
It played hard to get.
And then all of a sudden, poof, there it is. And now it's in my driveway. And some of the neighbors are texting me, hey, girl, saw your ride. You picking up the kids next time? Because I couldn't drive the kids because I had a little car.
There is nobody like you.
It's awesome.
Who falls in love with the burbs and a minivan.
I'm in love with my van.
Fever.
I love it. Anyone who has one of those minivans knows what I'm talking about. They're like, wow. You don't want to give it up. You have to keep it. Forever.
I think we should move on to Beyonce, even though I'm happy
I'm
in love.
So overjoyed.
No, I know. We could spend the whole chat talking about your minivan, but y'all, since it's Christmas, Beyonce is giving us a huge gift for the holiday.
Yeah.
We're talking about a performance at the halftime show during the Ravens-Texans game on Christmas Day. Take a look.
But let me make myself clear. Can you hear me?
can we stand?
Oh, yes.
Let's go.
Let's do it. She's going to be performing songs from Cowboy Carter, the album, and there are going to be some collaborations as there are on the album.
Well, we don't know that.
Yes, she's got some special surprise guests.
Oh,
could it
did
be
she say
Miley
that?
Cyrus? Could it be Post Malone?
Could it be Willie Nelson or Dolly?
Could it be Willie Nelson or Dolly?
We don't know. We're gonna have to tune in.
By the way, that's kind of a nice, because it's 4:30. That's when the game starts, right?
Yeah, 4-ish.
So
on Christmas Day.
So dinner time, because mostly, do you have like a Christmas lunch or a dinner?
I prefer to do like I just like
a 3,
one meal.
2 o'clock, yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
2, 3
like
o'clock.
a little brunch for the kids, because that's
Yeah.
kind of what they want, pancakes and
Yeah.
such. And then you do a 5 o'clock dinner.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Instead
Yeah.
of, but we don't always do that.
Yeah.
What do y'all do?
We try to do like one meal around 4 or 5, and then have regular breakfast,
Yes.
and a little light lunch. But then we do like the dinner early. But this could be perfect timing because I think football is kind of in the holidays. Look, Thanksgiving, it's always on.
Yes.
And usually around Christmas time in the evening-ish.
By 4:30, people are ready for
Tired.
everybody to head home. You know what I mean? You've already had Christmas Eve at that point. You've already had Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You've had Christmas Eve. You'd had all Christmas
Day
morning,
and Christmas Day, and now it's 5 o'clock.
It's time for football.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I don't, it doesn't bother me.
No, I think
one
it's
bit.
fun. I think it's fun.
great.
All right, we got a great show for you today. We're going to catch up with grownish star Yara Shahidi.
But first, y'all, the Netflix event that 60 million people watched over the weekend.
Our friend Kaylee Hartung breaks down the sports stories, getting a lot of buzz after this.
Now for the big sports stories that have made their way into pop culture, it is time for the score.
Oh, here with what we need to know is today contributing correspondent Kaylee Hartung. Hey,
Hi,
Kaylee.
Hey,
okay,
good morning,
boxing
Everybody
was
was
so
talking
in the
about it.
news.
Everybody was talking about it to the point that 60 million people, according to Netflix, tuned in for this Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say quite underwhelming. I mean, here's Mike Tyson, right? One of the most dominant, most intimidating, greatest fighters of all time, but he's 58 years old now. Oof. Paul, 30 years younger. Very few of those punches from Tyson even got landed. It was a unanimous decision for Paul. Some streaming issues on the streamer because so many people were trying to watch.
Wow.
Yeah, but
And then also the women's fight had a lot of eyes.
Well, and I think that that's what people are saying was sort of the silver lining of this fight, right? Is that it opened up this window into the world of women's boxing and on the biggest stage. So yeah, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, these two, this was a rematch where people had already talked about their first meeting as the greatest women's boxing match of all time. And these two absolutely delivered. People saying that fight was 100 times better than what we saw from Tyson and Paul. And you just saw what warriors they were going down to the final second, and then Serrano defeated Taylor. Taylor defeated Serrano, but a lot of people thought, and that's the thing about boxing that I think a lot of people don't understand when it comes down to the judge's decision.
Yeah. Well, that you even have a judge
deciding it.
Was Jake Paul ever a boxer, or he was a YouTube
He was a
star?
YouTube star with like tens of millions of followers on YouTube.
Who then became a
Okay. Because why not?
Yeah.
Just thought, hey, let me try. And then when you get to fight someone like Mike Tyson, that
Quite
gives
lucrative.
you a platform.
And
Mike Tyson made $20 million
Just
from that fight. I think Paul made twice that. But after the fact, so Tyson has not formally announced his retirement, but in a statement afterwards, he said, this is one of those situations when you lost, but you still won. No regrets getting in the ring one last time. So
sounds like it.
Sounds about.
All right, let's talk about this. Is Carmelo Anthony and Lala Anthony's son, Cayenne, made a big announcement. It was exciting.
Big announcement. I mean, the spotlight has been on Cayenne Anthony since he was in middle school.
Yeah,
of course.
he's an incredible player.
I mean, Carmelo Anthony, a 10-time NBA All-Star, and the heart of Syracuse basketball. Anybody who's ever been a Syracuse Orange fan has such a special place in their heart for Carmelo. So the question was, would he follow in Dad's footsteps? He went on his dad's podcast and made the big announcement. Yes, he will be going to Syracuse. And of course, the reaction was elation by the fans and really emotional and special, I think, from Carmelo. I mean, Carmelo's name is on the basketball facility there. Can you imagine being Kai and Anthony and walking in every day to see that?
But he's a great player in his own right.
Oh, absolutely. He's one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
He scores like 20 points per game. He really has worked to develop into who he is, and he wants to make his own name.
All right, let's talk about the Knicks game. There was somebody on the sidelines, Anne Hathaway, enjoying the game like people do, and then something happened. What happened?
The cost of courtside seats.
Okay, what happened?
I mean, OG Anunoby, he nearly ran her over. He went to chase a ball and basically lands in her lap. Meanwhile, Anne Hathaway is smiling, laughing. She thinks it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. Her poor son, Jack, just to her left.
Like,
I think he was more disappointed that he lost his popcorn and all of it. But Anne was so cute. She went on Instagram afterwards. Of course, people were worried. Are you okay? Are you okay? She was fine. Not injured at all. She was like, that was bucket list. I've always wanted that to happen.
Oh, my gosh.
I love it.
Hilarious.
Right in the middle of the action.
We have to talk about this incredible moment at the Colorado game.
Oh my gosh. Okay, meet Miss Peggy. She has been going to Colorado Buffalo games since the 1940s. This week, she is celebrating her 100th birthday. So in this just incredible show of appreciation and love, about 50,000 fans that had packed Folsom Field in Boulder sang happy birthday to Miss Peggy. And she was so overcome with emotion. It was beautiful. It really was.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the definition of a super fan.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Thank you, Kaylee. All right, coming up next, Blackish star Yara Shahidi is here.
She's got a new project to help you find joy in everyday life. We're going to talk with her right after this.
At 24 years old, Yara Shahidi is an accomplished Hollywood actress and producer who starred in the hit TV show Blackish and its spin-off Grownish over the past decade.
Yeah, she is also a Harvard graduate and now is the co-creator and host of the brand new podcast, The Optimist Project. Yara, hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I mean, we need optimism.
Yes.
We need it right now.
Timing.
Yeah.
It really feels like such a special time to be talking about choosing optimism, choosing joy. Are you optimistic by nature?
Yes and no. I think I have a sunny disposition, but I feel like in the last couple years in particular, I've realized how important it is to actively cultivate optimism. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
And so I think that really was the catalyst for this project, which is like, I have some learning to do on optimism.
Well, you've also had some changes, which I think sometimes leaves you a little bit lost. You wrapped Grownish. You're a Harvard grad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kind of new stuff coming your way. So navigating change must be part of that. So how do you kind of keep your feet on the ground when you're going through all these kinds of changes?
I mean, that's a great question. I think, like you're saying, I've played Zoe Johnson for 10 years. I turned 24 at our rap party, so it worked exactly 10 years. I've been in school for so much of my life. And I think now what's been really exciting is figuring out exactly what is anchoring me. And I feel like a tenet that's really been across my family is curiosity. I think it's why I got into this career in the first place. And I think curiosity has been what's helped me drive this new chapter, which is just being deeply open to whatever could be next and figuring out what excites me really in real time.
We were just talking off camera. I mean, you were shooting a show. You were going to Harvard and literally going to Harvard. So doing both logistically, a lot.
I had so many airplane miles.
I mean, I bet you were exhausted. And sometimes when we're so busy, you don't have the space to even know what it is you want to do. And now you kind of have space.
Yeah.
Are you allowing yourself to really dream about, you know, other projects?
Most definitely. I think the timing was so wonderful because, like you're saying, I think when I graduated from school, it was beautiful to have that last season of Grownish to close out on because I got to appreciate just how special our job is without always flying back and forth, although I loved the challenge. And I think now with all of this space, it's been really beautiful to be able to lean into the production company, lean into making the projects that excite me happen in real time, because I've loved what I've been a part of, but it's been, like you're saying, it's just been really reaffirming to know that I'm 24, I have done this for 2 decades, but there's still so much to experience.
Which is also so crazy.
I can't even, when you keep saying 24, I'm like, well, this is not computing right now. You know what I love? Because I was thinking a lot of parents watching would probably say, boy, I would love for my daughter or my son to turn out in this way. And when you were little, your parents didn't allow TV. So,
Even
first of
though
all,
you were kind of an actress from a young age, too,
so
right?
what up with the no TV, and how did that change you, do you think?
Oh, I think it totally made me more of a dreamer not watching TV.
Yes.
Now, given this is antithetical as a TV actor
Totally.
to tell people to stop, but I think it's what actually made me enjoy acting. It wasn't necessarily watching things, but we would sit down, they'd make us forts as kids and play an audiobook. So me and my brothers would sit and listen to audiobooks as though they were a movie. And so we've always been a very audio-first family.
Wow.
But I think it just gave my brain space to be very creative at a young age because we were building our own worlds and we had to add our own visuals to everything that we were hearing.
By the way, that's beautiful.
I mean, also, when I think about all these kids that are on phones, you know, it worries me because you really, I mean, television is one thing, but just programming.
I still struggle with it all the time. My phone's always on grayscale because they said that affects, like, if it's all gray.
Yes, you did that for 2 days.
5 minutes, and then I was over it.
Okay, but do you always, I run into issues where I then have to handle work and I'm like, why does none of the color look right? Grayscale.
You know, there are so many women who admire you. I think Mrs. Obama wrote your college recommendation. I think Oprah said that you would one day be president. Is that something you really want to do one day?
While I am so grateful for the university, I have to say politics adjacent is always where I felt like I'd end up landing. Somewhere next to the hill.
You've had all these amazing people in your life, including your family, but you must get great advice along the way. Is there something that stands out to you when you say, wow, you know, this is part of why I'm here?
Yeah, well, I've been really lucky to be surrounded by some wonderful people in all of my work settings. But I think one thing that I always reflect on is I played a young Olivia Pope only for a couple scenes. But I remember Kerry Washington made a point of coming to set that day, even though she wasn't working on that set. She was on a different location, just to, one, say hi and introduce herself. But in that moment, she just really reaffirmed how they had chosen me because they liked who I was as a person, and the idea of staying true to myself and how that shines through. And I think that was a really beautiful thing that stuck with me, and it was really only moments before I started Blackish and started on this kind of career full time.
Wow.
My gosh.
Now, can we talk about the podcast for a
let's
minute?
go
We
back
want
to
to hear
optimism.
about
My
it.
question is, on air, can I get you both to commit to be on?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I'll come to you.
Yes.
I'll come to you.
We're in.
So tell us, what's the format? So it's you and your mom.
So I mean, people may know her as Chocolate Mommy Love. I know her as my mother, or Yara Shahidi. But we're business partners, and I think what's beautiful about our business relationship is that we get to do a lot of talking about what moves us in our work and why we do certain work. And I think the Optimist Project came from, one, the fact that we're having these very real conversations on quality of life and how does one pursue a purpose while also being true to yourself, giving yourself space, because it's easier said than done. And then it was also coming from the fact that we've gotten lucky enough to traverse these really exclusive rooms, the TED Conference, random spaces, and each time there have been life-changing conversations, but only a handful of people to hear them. And so coming from a family of people that love audio, it felt like the podcast space was a perfect way to sit down with people that truly inspire us to not really even ask about career, but to ask about what holds them up and drives them in between all of the moments that we see public facing. And I'd have to say it's been such a treat because on a practical level, I feel like I've learned so much every single episode.
That's cool.
That's
I mean,
really
also
cool.
Joy is something that we need. Optimism is what we need. You are amazing.
Yara, thank you.
Yara, thank you, and we will come on.
We will.
I speak for her.
Yes, we together will come on. The Optimist Project premieres Wednesday with new episodes every week.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Coming up next, Donna introduces us to a history-making star of the new Wicked movie right after this. So incredible. Now to our series Up Next, and today we want to introduce you to one of the breakout stars in the movie everyone is talking about, Wicked.
Our girl Donna caught up with her. Hey, Donna.
Hi, this is exciting because I had a chance to meet 24-year-old Marissa Bod, who is blazing a trail in her role as Nessa Rose. And trust me, ladies, when I tell you, she's just getting started. Take a look.
Go with her.
What?
If anything should happen to her,
She'll be fine.
Marissa Bod has traveled a long way down the yellow brick road from the community theater stage of her small Wisconsin hometown.
Theater for me growing up
was genuinely just about having as much fun as I can. And I have always loved The Wizard of Oz. Watched it so many times when I was younger. When I was 11, 12 is when I saw it on stage for the first time. My mom had surprised me.
Around that same age, Marissa survived a car accident that left her paralyzed from the waist down.
Can you describe that period of your life and how you received that news at such a young age?
I think what was most difficult is the education surrounding it, because I didn't grow up learning about disability or disabled people in general, so it seemed like a much scarier thing than I know now. I always say it, genuinely at the end of the day, I am just sitting down. It's not that much deeper than that, and a wheelchair is an assistive device similar to glasses.
Did that serve as an identifying mark in your life?
I think it definitely made me a more empathetic person, although that journey was also long because middle schoolers, we know, but it did make me see the world differently and just to take different minority groups into consideration.
Now, at 24, her breakout role in the film Wicked is defying what has been the norm. She is making history as the first actor with a disability to play the part of Nessa Rose.
That perfectly adorable munchkin boy just asked me out.
I am over the moon about them making the decision to cast somebody who is authentically in a wheelchair, because it's not something I saw a lot of when I was growing up, and if I did, it was like for one special episode and you never saw the character again. So to be in this huge movie, I just feel so lucky and grateful that I can be that representation and help people feel a lot less alone.
I loved at the Australian premiere, there was you and the little girl who plays young Nessa Rose. How does that representation sort of manifest in those moments?
It genuinely means everything.
And Marissa got the older sister treatment both on and off screen from Cynthia Erivo, whose characters are sisters in the film.
One day we were filming and she clocked me, rightfully so, of me being in my head and just me being extra hard on myself. And she was like, just breathe, just be present in the moment. And I really did appreciate that.
It's been a full circle moment for Marissa's whole family, who has never left her side.
Both my parents for sure are very supportive. My dad has just always really loved movies, even the other day when he got to see the premiere for the first time.
Let's dance.
I have a really cool dance number in that. I've never ever danced that much in my life before. And we both got a little bit emotional because just how far I've come from local community theater to be where I'm at now is just, it's been a journey for the whole family, really.
It's because I'm in this chair.
Was there a moment during filming where you really felt, wow, this is it, I'm here, I'm making history?
The first surreal moment I really had was when I touched down in London, because I had never been overseas before. I still feel that every day, but that was, I think, the first moment and the first, oh my gosh, I kind of made it.
Say that again.
Yeah, I made it.
You made it.
Yeah, and I made it now, but I'm so excited for what's to come after this and to hopefully pave the way more in the future for more disabled actors. I think incorporating more visibility in media can make a huge difference overall.
Oh, we love
Aren't you in love with her?
Yes.
By the way, that was a beautiful conversation you had with her, too. You really brought out a lot. I thought that was beautiful. Wow.
It was really great, and you know what? She has obviously a long runway ahead, including part 2 of Wicked. There will be so much more magic. And Wicked, as you all know, because we've been promoting it for so long.
Because it's amazing.
Because
How
it's so
amazing is it?
amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. From our sister company, Universal Pictures. Hits theaters this Friday, and you don't want to miss it.
No, you don't. Thank you,
Love that.
Donna.
All right, coming up next, how to create a Thanksgiving table to remember with decor ideas from designer Martin Lawrence Bullard after this. Thanksgiving is just 10 days away. Our dining tables, though, are about to be center stage.
Yeah, and here to help you elevate your dinner table is the author of Star Style, Martin Lawrence Bullard. Hi, Martin.
How
ladies.
are you?
We're good, thank you.
Okay, I have to say, I'm not a great cook, but I do love setting the table. It's fun. It feels like artistic, right?
It's the best. By the way, I can't cook a thing, but I do love to set a table.
And do you usually do it the night before?
The night before is always the best.
Yeah.
Because it gives the flowers time to kind of open. It gives you time to play around with it.
Yes.
But I like to start it off with a little festive cocktail.
Of course you do.
And tell us about this one.
So this is a little cranberry martini. Cheers.
Cranberry martini, wow.
Cheers. Cheers.
Festive.
Yeah.
Is it bad if I don't?
You don't need
okay,
it.
fine.
It matches your outfit. It's
Okay, yeah, I'll
perfect.
just carry it like
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But, you know, so I'm good at making the cocktails.
Okay. Now, what we're going to find about this table, there's a lot of whimsy that you're going to unfold that people aren't going to recognize by looking at it. So where would you like to start?
Well, I always start with colour.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I mean, obviously, it's very autumnal. It's Thanksgiving. You know, I love green's my favourite colour.
Yes.
So I always love to incorporate green. I love this kind of ochre moment. You know, these are really fun. This is Williams Sonoma Home, the plates.
Yes.
And it's sort of a fun moment to kind of layer in. But you know, you don't have to go out and buy everything new.
Yeah, use what you have, right?
Yeah, the fun part is use what you have. I even love, like these, you know, these are wonderful little antique cups.
Yes.
Use things that were like family things that bring in that sort of wonderful inherited flavour into the mix.
Yeah, the other thing you did here, which, you know, is so great, is that you use these natural fruits sort of as floral arrangements. Right?
Thanksgiving, all about abundance. The idea of beautiful fruits adding into the table really is, I mean, it's wonderful decor, and then you can use them afterwards.
Yeah, now, here's something interesting. We thought, wow, look, he's brought a plate of nuts. These actually are all part of the plate itself, as
They're
is
these
the corn.
whimsy
So what up with the corn that looks half-eaten? What is it about? Explain.
These are amazing. These are made by Zoe de Givenchy, whose uncle was Hubert de Givenchy, the fashion designer.
Yeah.
The iconic fashion designer, and he used to have these in his beautiful chateau. She now makes them again, but I love the idea of adding crazy whimsy to the
right?
right?
I mean,
how fun would it be to see your friends trying to get a little chocolate off the plate?
Okay, let's talk about the place settings and the way you created these name cards via what is that? A plant.
It's a little bit of eucalyptus.
Yes, it is.
And a Sharpie.
Yes.
You two up the front there.
Yeah. Oh, look how pretty that is.
Oh, I love that. Beautiful.
So listen. You need a place card because everybody wants to have a proper placement at the table. The easiest way to do it is you can even cut that out of your garden, a little leaf, and write on it.
Yes.
Makes it super festive, adds a little personal moment.
Yes.
Costs nothing.
Exactly, I love that.
I love it. And the candles, are these real or are you?
No, so look, this is amazing. These are from Addison Ross, and they do these amazing candles that you use on a little remote.
Let's see how you do it.
Yeah, well, let's have a go. Look, well, that's on the timer. You've got a 4-hour timer.
Oh, okay.
You can light up and down, like they're flicking away. They're amazing because they're not going to burn the house down.
Yes, I love that.
That's neat.
And you can put them on a timer so they last for like 4 hours or 6 hours. As you ladies know, lighting is everything.
Yes.
For me, living in Hollywood, I understand everybody wants to be lit well. So I like to dim the lights, even if it's in the middle of the afternoon. Dim the lights, light the candles.
Beautiful.
Set a sexy atmosphere.
Make it feel special. And then these flowers are gorgeous. Do you have a rule with setting the flowers?
Always take the colours of your flowers to match whatever's going on with your dinnerware.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you've got like pink and red plates, put pink and red flowers in.
That makes sense.
But add greenery.
Okay, add greenery. Martin, you're great. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Coming up next, y'all, my latest book club author, Nikki May. She's going to take us inside her incredible book, This Motherless Land, right after this. Hi, Nikki.
This month's Read with Jenna book is a special story about sisterhood, family, and secrets. It's called This Motherless Land.
Yeah, and the author Nikki May is here, and we're going to chat with her in a moment. But first, let's take a look inside the novel. When Funke's mother dies in a tragic accident, she's sent from Nigeria to England to live with her mother's distant family. Everything and everyone is cold, except her cousin Liv, with whom she forms a fierce bond. But years later, another tragedy and the secrets surrounding it tear the two apart. This Motherless Land by Nikki May is a story of love, friendship, and belonging.
And we want to welcome Nikki and the Little City Book Club. Let's hear it for Hoboken, New Jersey.
Nikki,
you guys are here.
We're so happy you're here, and I know we have a lot of readers that are going to want to talk to you. But first of all, talk about how this idea came to you.
I guess it was inspired by my very existence. I grew up between two cultures. I was born in England, moved to Lagos before I was 1, and then moved back to London when I was 20. And I've always been a bit obsessed with this whole concept of what is home, what is belonging, what is identity. And I knew I wanted to write about it one day, but I wasn't sure how. I reread, I'm a Jane fan, I love Jane, so I reread Mansfield Park for the umpteenth time and found my jumping off point. I ripped a little girl out of Lagos, threw her into London, and that was it.
All of those emotions must have come kicking right back in, the little girl in you. How did you come to write about all of that?
I sometimes think writing a book is better than therapy. It's probably cheaper. And this is such a personal book. When we meet Funke in 1978, she's basically living my life in my house in Lagos. She's got my parrot. She goes to my beach. She rides her green chopper with my little brother around the quiet campus street.
Childhood, by the way.
It was wonderful, and her mother is very inspired by my mother. Although I kill off Funke's mother quite early. It's not a spoiler.
Your
mom is fine.
Alive and well. Hi, Mom. And we go for yoga every Tuesday. But it was I really dug deep into how I felt when I first came to England, and about how I now feel when I go back to Lagos. And these things are really complicated. It's nuanced.
Yeah, and it is also about friendship, sisterhood, found sisterhood, and where we kind of, you know, rely on others. Where did that relationship come from?
I knew I wanted to write a love story, but my editor was really clear. Cousin sex is not, we're not in Georgian days, Nikki, and we don't do cousin sex. So it's still a love story, it's just a very platonic one.
By the way, your editor was right.
And I also am obsessed with female friendships. I think women are a lot more harder on their friends than they are on their partners. I think we expect a lot more from them. And I wanted to really probe the question whether love can make the difference between surviving and thriving. I'm a romantic, I really believe it does, but I wanted to push my two girls to the limits and see if love could.
I loved that relationship.
Well, you know what else is a big character in your book? Food. Snacks. And we were hoping maybe she'd bring some. I don't know. Did you come through?
I'm a foodie, so I did. I brought you two snacks. I brought you chin chin, which is a Nigerian delicacy. When I was growing up, we didn't have peanut flavour. This is fancy chin chin.
Oh, this is fancy chin chin.
Chin chin is basically, it tastes better than it sounds. It's pastry offcuts that are deep baked. You have to be careful. You need to have a dental plan before you start.
Chin chin is delicious.
Wow, and what's that?
These are What's-Its, and they play a big part in my book.
They do.
What's-Its?
They're not all orange.
They're
not
kind of
all
like
English foods are orange, but
sort of like a Cheeto.
Yeah, like a small Cheeto.
A cousin of a Cheeto.
Very yummy, and they're full of air, so they're very good for you.
Okay, but we have
By the way, you're very funny.
I know.
Is there a lot of humor in this book too?
I think so.
Yeah, there is. She's so smart, and it's so quick. Okay, you guys, we have some questions. First up, we have Leah.
Hi.
Hi.
My question for you is, which of the men in your book do you think is the most Austen-like?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think Kunle is Darcy. He was my Darcy. I mean, I wouldn't say no. He's a lovely, lovely, kind, nice man.
So funny.
So I'd go Kunle as Darcy.
Okay.
Okay, Dante.
Hi, Nick.
Danette.
I was going to answer to either.
Danette, I apologize. I don't know why I called you Dante. I've lost it.
Okay.
Nikki, I want you to know how inspiring I find your work. My question to you is, were there any characters that you found to be particularly challenging or inspiring to write?
Funke was actually really easy. She walked off the page fully formed, maybe because she's so based on me. But Liv, I grew to love through the book. She is a challenging character, but I sometimes think privilege can be just a heavier load to carry as prejudice, and I kind of wanted to explore that with her, and I kind of fell in love with Liv while writing.
Love that.
We did too.
Yeah, both of them, right?
Yes. Penelope, your turn.
Hi, Penelope.
How did you approach writing about color and class in the book?
I try to be as authentic as possible. I do think these things are nuanced. I do think, like me, they're not black or white. And I try not to preach or lecture, so I kind of wrote what I knew. And you also have to just say, this is how I feel. It's fiction. If people don't like it, it's my story.
By the way,
Oh my gosh, isn't she amazing?
You're a great writer, and you're also just an awesome human being.
We adore you. And you guys, this book, get it as a Christmas gift. How much did you love it and enjoy it?
That's a perfect
Wasn't it
one.
so fun? Get it for somebody you love. Nikki, we adore you.
Thank you,
so
Nikki.
much.
Thank you.
And to check out This Motherless Land, head today.com/read with Jenna or go to your indie bookstore.
I think Nikki should have a show. I'm still thinking. My wheels are turning about Nikki.
Well,
there's something.
There's an opening around here.
Oh, I did hear that.
Yeah.
I did hear that. Bye. We're back after this. You have 7 more. Tomorrow, actress Zoe Deutsch will be here.
Jessica Seinfeld shares some sweet treats from her new cookbook.
See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye. It's weird when we're sitting like this. There's nowhere to go.